He one time beat me for 4 hours and I had no face, and kicked in all my ribs, and it was very horrific.
Find out how Karen Justice Guard was able to overcome her abusive past.
Hello, I'm Shirley Rose. Welcome to Aspiring Women. I'm so glad you joined us. This is Michelle McKinney-Hammond, Tammy Maltby. It's great to be together with my friends again. And we're going to be talking today about the tragic world of addictions, drugs, alcohol. It's a horrible thing. I know my family has a history of it, alcoholism, and it seems to be perpetuated generation after generation, and it's so hard to break that.
Absolutely. In fact, one of my neighbors, her husband was a cocaine addict, started out smoking marijuana, went to cocaine, and then eventually brought the son in. And now the son is doing drugs. So it is incredible. It's just a grip on that whole family. They can't seem to get free of it.
How do you help a friend that's...
Well, you know, you really can't. You know, and waiting for them to hit bottom, because until they want help, they will refuse it. No matter, you know, people talk about doing interventions and all that, but if that person's not ready to receive help, it's just a nonprofit thing, because it's a mental thing. It's not just a physical thing. So you've got to free the mind from that.
And there are several types of addictions. Abuse within the home. 1 in 5 women have been abused by an intimate partner.
That's scary.
Yeah, it's a very serious thing. So it can be rage, it can be shopping too much, eating too much.
It can be.
It can be drugs, it can be several different venues. Well, when it's a family member or friend who needs to be rescued, it can be a difficult and discouraging journey. Today, you'll meet a woman who overcame her own battle with drugs, alcoholism, and abusive relationships, but then had to sit back and helplessly watch her identical twin sister go down the same path.
Drug addiction, domestic abuse, living on welfare? Sounds scary and hopeless, doesn't it? Not so for one courageous woman we want you to meet. When she finally broke free from the cycle, she had a very special reason for wanting to help other women.
Karen, you have had a difficult life. Tell me a little bit about your past.
Well, I made some wrong choices at a very young age, about 19, and got with a lot of wrong people. Drugs, alcohol, domestic violence, and ending up on welfare. That's where it took me.
It also led her down a path of abusive relationships, including one which repeatedly left her fearing for her life.
When you're beaten down and the bruises, and you look at yourself in the mirror, and you've let someone treat you that way, it's so hard to climb out to be better because you have so much shame. Domestic violence is a very horrific thing to be a part of. You go through so many stages of, can I fix it? Can I change me? It's me. I had to do inventories of why did I stay? Why did I go back? What made me try to fix him instead of fixing myself? Because I was just as broken.
How does that make you feel about yourself as a person when people treat you like that over and over again?
Well, you become very numb of that behavior, and it becomes normal to you. Right. So it's been a process of learning the other side of not the chaos and the drama. I was addicted to all that.
For Karen, that process has been long and difficult. She stayed sober and drug-free for a number of years, but became hooked on pain medication following a surgical procedure. It triggered her heroin addiction and landed her in a rehab clinic. Once again, she thought the abuse was behind her and married a man she met at an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting. They opened a restaurant together and enjoyed financial success, but she says he turned out to be mentally abusive. After 2 children and 8 years of sobriety, she fell back into the pit of drinking and drugs. But this time, she was determined to break the cycle for good.
What I did was I walked away from the house on the golf course, the drugs, what I had just picked up, grabbed my babies, this time I had children, and I went up to Tahoe, and I went into AA, and I went back to college, and I ended up on welfare. And I needed to take a hard look at myself.
Being a single mom on welfare wasn't easy, and Karen struggled with repeatedly taking her husband back. But ultimately, she found the strength to remain on her own. So how do you get past it?
I think the only person that really can change you is the Lord and yourself. And you really need to be committed for change, and it takes everything that you do or have done and those results you have gotten and gotten you nowhere. You need to not repeat that. And you get rid of all the excuses and you start, if you can't do it for yourself, if you have children, you do it for them first. And then all of a sudden your behavior starts changing, and then all of a sudden you catch yourself and you go, oh my God, I am thinking different. Right. I am acting different. My life is changing.
As part of an assignment for a college writing course, Karen wrote a letter to talk show host Oprah Winfrey about how she had inspired Karen to change her life. She also shared a vision of how she could help other women based on her own experience.
If I just had a safe place, that I didn't have to worry about daycare, that I didn't have to worry about rent, that I had boundaries to not take the husband back, and I was sober, and I just knew if I just had this safe haven that I could work on myself, have parenting skills, have counseling, and to find who I really had at my fullest potential, I could recover so much quicker. And it started the role of Safe Haven's vision.